hall echoed up with stormy applause, rising to an ovation. For 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, the stormy applause rising to an ovation continued. But palms were getting sore and raised arms were already aching, and the older people were panting from exhaustion. It was becoming insufferably silly, even to those who really adored Stalin. However, who would dare be the first to stop? The secretary of the district party committee could have done it. He was standing on the platform, and it was he who had just called for the ovation, but he was a newcomer. He had taken the place of a man who'd been arrested. He was afraid. After all, NKVD men were standing in the hall, applauding and watching to see who quits first. And in that obscure small hall, unknown to the leader, the applause went on 6, 7, 8 minutes. They were done for. Their goose was cooked. How could they stop now? Until they collapsed with heart attacks. And at the rear of the hall, which was crowded, they could, of course, cheat a little bit, clap less frequently, less vigorously, not so eagerly. But up there with the presidium, where everyone could see them, the director of the local paper factory, an independent and strong-minded man, stood with the presidium, aware of all the falsity and all the impossibility of the situation. He kept on applauding. 9 minutes, 10. In anguish, we watched the secretary of the district party committee, but the latter dared not stop. Insanity to the last man. With make-believe enthusiasm on their faces, looking at each other with faint hope, the district leaders were just going to go on and on applauding till they fell where they stood, till they were carried out of the hall on stretchers. And even those who were left out, and even those who were left would not falter. Then, after 11 minutes, the director of the paper factory assumed a businesslike expression and sat down in his seat. Oh, a miracle took place. Where had the universal, uninhibited, indescribable enthusiasm gone? To a man, everyone else stopped dead and sat down. They had been saved. The squirrel had been smart enough to jump off his revolving wheel. That, however, was how they discovered who the independent people are, and that is how they went about eliminating them. That same night, the factory worker was arrested. They easily pasted 10 years on him on the pretext of something quite different. But after he signed the Form 206, the final document of the interrogation, his interrogator reminded him, "Don't ever be the first to stop applauding."